coming straight out of Canton, 24/7, 365. From the Hall of Fame city, this is Uncensored Football.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Uncensored Football. Zach Zander in the house, and me, Eric Savavik, the fantasy big shot, coming right at you. Dude, I'm freaking out, Z. We got NFL football, 1 day away, NBA playoffs. Life is good right now, man. But let's be honest, NFL football kickoff, 1 day away. Here we coming at you. We're going to preview that first Thursday night game, the one that's probably going to make the country shed a tear because we finally got NFL football back. Z, what's up, man?
And I thought the E stood for Ernest or something, or Einstein. I thought it was Einstein, Jay, man. I didn't know it was Eric. Are you kidding me? No, I'm excited, dude. I'm thrilled. I can't wait for tomorrow. My Miami Hurricanes are playing along with, a little guy named Patrick Mahomes going to try to defend that title. So I cannot wait for Thursday, 8:00 p.m. I will be sitting on my couch in front of my TVs, plural, with a beer, and I cannot wait to get down.
I'm with you with your Miami Hurricanes. I'm not a Canes fan. Obviously, I'm a Buckeye. But, dude, De'Aaron King, Miami Hurricanes, that's huge, bro. We're talking a Heisman candidate. I can't wait to see that either. I will have 2 TVs on, actually 3 with the playoffs on too. Even though my Rockets, man, can't play in the fourth quarter 2 games in a row. I don't want to talk about that because guess what? I just want to keep it positive because football's tomorrow. Z, let's go, man. Let's get into this matchup, man. I love everything about it. We're starting the year off with where the playoff game happened. Houston, Texas at Kansas City. -9.5. Chiefs -9.5. The over-unders at 54. What a juicy matchup to start the season, though. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes facing off again. What are your thoughts on this matchup tomorrow, buddy?
Man, it's almost like the billion-dollar quarterbacks. If you combine what these guys are going to make in the next 10, 15 years, I think it might be $1 billion. These guys are paid now, and now it's time to go at each other. This might be the new Brady versus Peyton Manning matchup for the next 8 to 10 years in the AFC. I think the line's a little outrageous. The Texans obviously can score the ball. 9 points is a lot, and they don't get the advantage of being at home in front of a full Arrowhead Stadium, which is one of the loudest in the NFL. It's almost like a college atmosphere. Give me the points. We haven't seen preseason games. We're not so sure. I think that crowd does come into play when you're on the road. It just does. Give me the points, but I'm going to take that huge over because 54 is humongous in the NFL. I'm still going to take that over. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's under 9, but KC gets the win maybe by 4 points.
Okay, my man's going with the points. I like to go with the points too. When it's up to 9, I like to go with the points as well. But let me tell you one thing about this matchup, buddy. Patrick Mahomes in the house, man, getting his ring. It's go time, man. Go ahead and give me KC, baby. I'll go -9 right here. They win by a touchdown and a field goal. That's right, 10 points. Pay me. Kansas City Chiefs coming out here. I get it. The Texans are going to be pissed off, but at the same time, you got Patrick Mahomes and a guy named Andy Reid who cannot wait to flex with that new running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Remember a couple years ago, it was a Thursday night game. It was Kansas City versus the New England Patriots. And Andy Reid got the opportunity to unleash a man named Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt had like 52 fantasy points that day. Hey, I'm expecting Andy Reid to do the same things with CEH tomorrow. I see CEH running all over that Houston defense. What are your thoughts on the fantasy impact of, the young rookie CEH?
Well, the thing of it is, remember last year, David Montgomery was supposed to be that guy day one, and it was a Thursday night game also, and it left fantasy owners, pulling their hair out. Week 1, he had under 10 touches. He had like 3 total fantasy points. So it was the complete opposite of the Kareem Hunt day. Now, I think Edwards-Helaire is going to have obviously a better day, his rookie startup, than David Montgomery did, but I would kind of temper my expectations just a touch. He's going to be used in the pass game. That's absolutely 100% a fact. He's going to be used out in the slot and in the open field. But we're not sure about these weighted touches. Maybe they bring in somebody else. Maybe they bring in Darrell Williams. I'm not sure. They Elijah McGuire looks like he's still on this team. I think. I mean, Edwards-Helaire is supposed to be that guy, but until you see it, you never know. I think he's a guarantee lock for 10-plus points, but I don't know if he's going to have anywhere close to a 50-point game like Kareem Hunt did.
Right. Well, guess what, buddy? There's a big difference between a team like the Chiefs that average around 27 points a game and the Bears who average around 17 points a game. So comparing David Montgomery and the Chicago Bear offense with Mitchell Trubisky to Edwards-Helaire in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes and more weapons on the receiving corps than you can imagine. Come on.
I'm just saying.
This new toy is going to be flexed on tomorrow.
Sometimes the rookies get they don't get thrown the volume that you want to see as a fantasy owner. I know everybody drafted him in the first round last week. I mean, he didn't get out of one single first round for me, so he's in everybody's starting lineup. Just temper your expectations just a little bit. I see a nice day. I'm not seeing a blowout day like Kareem Hunt did a couple years ago, but there's a lot of players in this game that are going to be fantasy relevant, and they're going to be in your lineups. Everybody's starting Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Deshaun Watson. One of the things I want to get at is Brandon Cooks was one of my favorite plays this week. He was a wide receiver 3. I think he was the guy to own in Houston, and now he has a quad injury. Looks like he's going to be game time decision. If he sits out or is limited, EJ, who do you think is going to step into that Brandon Cooks role on the other side of Will Fuller?
I mean, it had to be the boy Randall Cobb, right? I mean, that's the guy in the best position for the next way up. I mean, you could go with a Kenny Stills. However, you know, at the end of the day, I see them featuring their new toy as well, though, man. That new weapon. I know you hate David Johnson, but guess what, man? David Johnson is going to be featured. You don't spend that much on a guy. You don't pay what you paid DeAndre Hopkins price and not have this guy heavily involved. So I cannot wait, Z. And you know what, bro? You're going to owe me that beer because I don't forget it, man. You bet me a beer that David Johnson was going to bust. And tomorrow when David Johnson blows up, I'm going to be pretty thirsty. I'm going to call you right away.
One game? Man, come on now. You have him an RB2 for the whole entire season. I'm not buying that. But David Johnson, I don't know. Let's see it. I don't know. Deshaun Watson doesn't like throwing to those running backs, so I know he has soft hands. I don't think he has the burst anymore. But let's focus in on that Houston Texans passing game because, like, I love that you brought up Randall Cobb, and he is my DFS darling of this matchup. He is the wide receiver everybody's forgetting about. If Brandon Cooks does not play, I think he gets a ton of work in the slot. More than likely, the Houston Texans are going to be playing from behind. So here's some easy dink and dunk points, maybe in the third and fourth quarter, that fantasy owners love. And if you're playing DFS at 6,300, that's a lovely number. Get him in your lineup if you have some high-end players like Tyreek and possibly Mahomes in there. I think he's going to be the DFS darling of the week. I'm calling at least 6 catches if Brandon Cooks doesn't play.
But I really think Brandon Cooks plays, though. I really do, man. But, you know, with him and Will Fuller, you never know.
You a doctor? I didn't know you're a doctor.
Listen, I feel like I faded them a lot this year, this draft season, because of the injury stuff, man. It's just, you know, you got 2 guys that are – but you can't predict injuries. And, you know, Will Fuller, that dude's a guy that could have 45 points tomorrow or have 5 points tomorrow. You know, you don't know what to expect there. But what we do know is what's going to happen on the Kansas City side of the ball. We know Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are going to eat. Now, that comes to the next question, though. Who would be next in the pecking order out there to catch balls? And I'm hoping and praying. You know, my McCole Hardman shares are legit this year. He's the wide receiver, too. But, you know, remember game 1 last year, Sammy Watkins had 3 touchdowns, and I remember selling them in every league for a pile of gold. Because, you know, that's what the fantasy big shot does. He knows to sell when they're high like that. But, you know, you really don't know. I mean, it could be Pringle. You know what I mean? It really could be Pringle that comes out and gets 2 touchdowns from Mahomes.
Pringles?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you got me tripping now.
I mean, it could be DeMarcus Robinson. It could be Sammy. It could be, you know. But
it could be everybody. I get it. And Sammy Watkins, he shows out in the Super Bowl. He shows out in week 1. He kind of shows out when the lights seem to be on and he's actually healthy. I kind of like your play. And then in your DraftKings, he's at a pretty reasonable number. Will Fuller, I think, is the overrated guy. He's the guy that he could boom or bust. Good chance he booms, good chance he tears his ACL. So I don't like to have those type of guys in my roster all the time. give me a Sammy Watkins, and I like that number at only 8.7. McCole Hardman is 7.8. So I don't know. That's the type of numbers you're going to have to make that decision. Hardman, I think, is like he has to get a long touchdown for you to be valuable in fantasy. So I don't think he gets the volume.
And can you imagine, though, I mean, being a defensive coordinator and having Tyreek Hill on one side, McCole Hardman on the other side, and the big old Cleveland boy, Travis Kelce, in the middle? I mean, how do you plan to stop that? I mean, that's ridiculous, man. It's going to be a fun season, and I really hope McCole Hardman runs away with that wide receiver 2 job. But I guess time will tell. On the defense, man, I mean, who's going to have the harder time? You like the Houston D better, or do you like Kansas City D?
I don't like nothing to do with it. You shouldn't be starting any one of these defenses. Not even close. J.J. Watt's back healthy for right now, but both these quarterbacks, I believe, are going to have their way a little bit. Go ahead and leave both those defenses on the waiver wire, because you should be streaming your defense if you're smart, and you're not streaming them this week, either one.
Okay, well, we both think it's going to be an over. We think at Arrowhead it's going to be high-scoring game. I mean, I literally just can't wait, Z. You guys got any questions? Go ahead, send us some messages, man. Trade questions, keep them coming in. My inbox has been flooded all week. Zander's has too, but we absolutely love it. So keep them coming. Anything else on this preview, Z, or are we out till we go to our 1 o'clock games?
You know what? It's the first game of the season. Temper your expectations, except for Patrick Mahomes. You know he's going to have his way. But temper your expectations with these rookies a little bit, and I'm going to say that a lot this week. This is going to be the craziest week 1 of all time. There's a ton of running back by committees. There's injuries. There's soft tissue injuries. It's going to be crazy. So don't say never, because anything can happen this week, I promise you.
And I'm going to disagree with Zander as usual. Hey, expect big things out of that boy Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let's go. See you guys. 1 o'clock episode coming up next. Later.